Okay, guys. So let's take a look at the meaning, the transition meaning from positive to negative, negative to positive for the contrasting adverbial conjunctions. However, nonetheless, and nevertheless, in a real case, in a real situation, we coached agents to change the perspective, right? So how would you like to change the perspective of your customer from negative to something more positive? Well, you can do that by using adverbial conjunctions correctly. I'm going to discuss first the uses, and then we'll discuss the punctuation as well, okay? Let's start with the uses. So with the idea behind, however, is you're going to contrast two ideas, right? The first idea is usually something positive, and the second idea is something negative. So you're going to introduce a negative idea. With nonetheless and nevertheless, they are the same meaning. Nonetheless, nevertheless, you're going to transition from a negative idea to a positive idea or a positive concept. So we've got two examples here on the board. Let's use logistics as an example. Here's the first one. I understand you're concerned with the refund. However, due to our policies, we're unable to issue the refund at this time. So here, I understand you're concerned with the refund. So here I'm acknowledging the customer and being positive about it. However, here comes the bad news. Due to our policies, we're unable to issue the refund. So I'm transitioning from the positive to the negative, which is giving the customer the no, the bad news. So I think it's very clear. Number two, let's transition from a negative perspective, right? And try to change it to something more positive using nonetheless in this example. So, Mr. Customer, I realize it's not what you expected. Nevertheless, we will proceed with your full refund. Okay. So now we ended in a much in a more positive tone here. We introduced the bad, right? Here we got the bad, but here we introduced the good with nevertheless or nonetheless. And this is great. I mean, we actually used it a lot to transition from the negative to the positive in real chats and emails with customers. So this could definitely help you with that type of transitioning. And also using however correctly to give the customer the no when you have to give the customer the no. Okay, so that's how you would use them. Okay, remember with however from positive to negative, and with nonetheless and nevertheless from the negative to the positive. Now let's check out the punctuation for this. Just gonna allow Raymark in. There it is. Okay. So now that we got the transition, let's talk about the punctuation rules. Okay. The punctuation. Punctuation is so important, especially in an email. Now, the thing that you're going to do is this. So there are different styles of punctuation. Since you're connecting two ideas, the one of the ways to do it is to finish the first idea with a period. So the first thing to do is to put the adverbial conjunction, any of these, you're going to start the adverbial conjunction after a full stop or a period and followed by a comma. So you close the adverbial conjunction between a period and a comma. So it's in there, the period and the comma. So here I have the full stop, however, comma. And in this example here, we have the full stop, the period, nevertheless, and the comma. Okay, that's one of the correct punctuation rules. The other way of using punctuation is to use this form. So instead of using the period, I can use a semicolon. So I can introduce the adverbial conjunction with a semicolon, right? And which is just a dot with a little comma downneath. So here I'm going to use the semicolon. I'm not going to capitalize because the semicolon, right? Because I'm using the semicolon and not a full stop. And I'll use a comma, the normal comma. So I'm going to put in the adverbial conjunction between the semicolon and a comma. In that sense, same thing here. So here I'm going to erase the full stop. I'm going to put here, not going to capitalize the end. I'll introduce the semicolon, nevertheless, and a comma, regular comma, right? The semicolon is a comma with a dot on top of it. Okay, so that would be the other correct punctuation. We use the semicolon, the adverbial conjunction, and a comma. Okay, and those are the two correct punctuation uses of the adverbial conjunction. So it doesn't matter what adverbial conjunction you use, you're going to include it, you're going to write it within this punctuation style. If you are going to begin a paragraph with an adverbial conjunction, let's say you're going to start with furthermore. Right, so you're going to do furthermore. When you start the paragraph, you just use a comma, just regular comma, not semicolon. So it's that furthermore, we will process the refund, etc. If you're beginning the sentence or if you're starting the paragraph. If you're going to use the adverbial conjunction in the middle to connect both ideas, then we need to use this style. So let's start over here. So we will issue the refund. Okay, you will issue the refund. Here, we'll use the first style and make a full stop, period. Furthermore, here I use a regular comma, so I enclose it like that, between a period and a comma. Furthermore, your account will be given a balance, for example, right? Give current balance, etc. Okay, that's the second punctuation rule. The third punctuation rule is to use the semicolon. We will issue the refund, semicolon. Furthermore, here I'm not going to capitalize because it's after the semicolon, comma. That's the second style. Furthermore, your account will be given a balance, etc. Okay, so those are the three punctuation styles. Number one, if you begin the sentence or the paragraph, you start with the conjunction, the adverbial conjunction, and a comma. The second style is my preferred. This is my preferred style. I use the adverbial conjunction after a full stop, a period, followed by a comma. And the third style, I don't use this one too much, but a lot of people do. We introduce the adverbial conjunction, doesn't matter which one it is. You can use any of these, right? With a semicolon, the adverbial conjunction, and a comma. And those are the three correct punctuation rules for adverbial conjunction. So if you do that, your emails are going to look more professional. And when you're in your writing, it's going to be, the punctuation will help the reader as well to clearly understand what you're trying to say, to transition your ideas. Okay, guys? And that's the correct punctuation. Now, your turn to give me some examples. Okay, guys, so here we have the resolution from our team members. The team provided their opinions and their uses of adverbial conjunctions. We're taking logistics as an example to this. So we have three examples. The instructions were to use adverbial conjunctions with the correct punctuation. And this is what the team has. Number one, I apologize for the delay in the shipment. Nonetheless, we have expedited your case to the logistics team to achieve faster resolution. Additionally, I will personally follow up with your case in the next 24 hours. Wonderful. So here we're transitioning from something negative to something positive using nonetheless. That's perfect. And since we're talking about resolution, on the topic of resolution, we're adding more additionally, including here the follow-up. Number 2, furthermore, we will process the refund to your damaged package and issue the full refund to your one-time payment, original payment method. Moreover, as a compensation, we will issue a $50 gift card to your gift card balance. So here perhaps I'm continuing with another paragraph that's talking about compensation. So I'm using furthermore to introduce it. And I'm still adding more related to the original refund case. So I'm just adding more of the same using moreover. So that's wonderful. And number 3, please accept our sincere apologies for the mishap with your order. We realize it's not what you expected. Nevertheless, you will receive full compensation for the inconvenience. Furthermore, I will personally send you an email confirmation detailing your refund. Awesome. So here we're talking about the mishap, the negative idea, and we transition to something positive, which means the customer will be compensated. And on the subject of compensation, furthermore, I will personally send you an email confirmation detailing the refund or the compensation details. So there you go. There you have it, folks. That's how we use adverbial conjunctions to transition to make our ideas flow. I hope this customer service example will help you better understand it and so you can achieve much better communication. This is when we talk about excellent communication skills, and this is how we achieve it. So we're going to go ahead and take a break right now. And very cool, team. Congrats. You're sounding very cool.